One of your goals, Tiffany, is to build, as I understand it, a data infrastructure. And let's face it, data quality has always been a challenge for firms to overcome.
Yes.
Tell us a bit about that pillar, about how you're modernizing the data infrastructure at BlackRock, including any lessons learned along the way.
So let me just say, in the financial services industry as a whole, so this is across the entire industry, we tend to be a little bit laggard in terms of how we use data, right? So I'm coming into this with a little bit of a, being behind in terms of how proactive the firms are in using data. But for BlackRock specifically, prior to joining BlackRock, the marketing organization was really more PR focused. So now that the CMO has joined about 5 years ago, our focus has been on being more data driven, which has meant making changes to our marketing database, making decisions about client data platforms, using our Hadoop environment, which is the big data environment, in much more strategic ways. And quite frankly, in marketing, we're starting to develop technological solutions to drive not only a better use of data and information at the highest level, as it relates to our brand and reputation, for example, but also solutions that democratize, right, and give teams acute views into clients. And one of the main lessons I've learned is not to discount the role of data just because of relationships, right? So this industry, as you probably know, is very high touch. It's a white glove industry, and it has the tendency to rely on intuition, right? That develops as a result of historical relationships. And intuition is very important, but it does not discount the ability of data to really elevate our understanding of clients. So it comes out of a particular team, out of a product, or out of a function with the goal of being, more impactful at scale. And that's really what we're doing in the marketing organization at BlackRock, driving impact at scale.
Interesting. I love that. Impact at scale. Okay. Tiffany, a couple more questions. How do you feel about the talent pool in the data and analytics arena right now? And what is BlackRock doing to be an experienced data scientist?
Yeah, this is an interesting question because I get it a lot. I'm constantly looking for talent. It's hard to find. I would say talent in this space is very hard to find. It's a little bit like a unicorn because I'm not typically looking for numbers crunchers only. I'm looking for data gurus. I'm looking for talent who can think critically through data to develop problem-solving techniques. I'm looking for storytellers.
Interesting.
Right? People who can actually tell very compelling, connected stories through data. And I'm looking for people who know statistics, right? I think what happens a lot of times is that people go through data science training and they come out and they know how to run code and they know Python and they know Java, but they don't really know how to tell a story. And they don't know how to interpret statistics. And to me, statistics is really key because there are all these analyses that we need to do. And it's not just about running the analysis and then looking at an outcome. It's like being able to interpret every step of the analysis. Now, how do you take that analysis and translate it into something that's digestible by people who don't speak the language of statistics? That's a significant skill. Not only like that they understand it, but that you've told them a compelling story that helps them gain understanding and make a decision about what they're doing in their business. That's meaningful and that's a skill. And it's not always about data science specifically, I would say, because sometimes the question can be answered with a pivot table in Excel, quite frankly, right? And a real data expert will know not to over-engineer the solution just because it can be over-engineered.
Yeah, great point. And there's the visualization angle as well, right? Part of storytelling is how to simplify, and sometimes less is more.
Yes.